Hello, let's continue our Sudoku adventure with Blue Scribble by GDC. So we have normal 6x6 Sudoku rules. That means in each row, each column, and each 2x3 box, we are placing the digits 1 to 6 exactly once each. We also have these blue lines in the grid. They've been curved for aesthetic purposes, but you can just treat them as lines, right? So just whatever cells they actually touch in an obvious way. So this is what our lines would look like. So anyway, feel free to do that if you want, but I think they're pretty clear. So the way these lines work is when they cross a box boundary, we segment them. So for example, this would be one segment, and then this would be a segment of this line. Here, this would be one segment, and then this would be the second segment of the line. So it's when we cross the box boundary in any way, starts a new segment. And every segment on the same line has the same sum. So let's just do this simple one here. So if this was a 5, that is the sum. The sum is 5. So this would have to also add to 5. So this adds to 5 and this adds to 5. Every segment has the same sum. If this was a 6, then maybe we'd add a 6 like this. And different lines can have different sums. It's just the segments on the same line have the same sum. And that's it. Those are the rules. There's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself. And I'm going to get started right now. All right, so I'm going to start here because this is 4 cells on a single segment. The absolute minimum I could do here is 1, 2, 3, 4, which adds to 10. The absolute maximum I could do here is 5, 6, which adds to 11. So my minimum is 10 and my maximum is 11, meaning that this sums to 10 or 11, which means the 6 has to be here. And this is either 4, 6 to add to 10. The only way to add to 10 is 4, 6, or 5, 6 to add to 11. Now you might think, well, 10 is 5 plus 5, but that would repeat the 5 in the box, in the column. So that means that we're from 4, 5, 6, and we always contain the 6, meaning that isn't our 6. So this is the only place for 6 in this box, and 6 is down here somewhere. Now, this is going to be whatever isn't involved in our sum. So if we sum to 10, this is our 5. If we sum to 11, then this is a 4, because the only way to sum to 11 in 4 cells is 1, 2, 3, 5. One good way to think about that is 1, 2, 3, 4 is our minimum. We want to add 1 to that without repeating any digits. So we need to take one of these digits and increment it. The only one that's viable to increment without repeating is to increment the 4 up to a 5. And so that actually makes a 4, 5, 6 triple here, meaning that this is from 1, 2, 3. In fact, all columns from 1, 2, 3. All right, that's good progress. Now we know that this isn't a 6 anymore, and this is the sum of 2 digits. So the very minimum we could do is 1, 2 here, which sums to 3. So this is 3, 4, or 5, which means these can't be 5 or 6, for what that's worth. So they're from 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now here, this could add to 6. What about here? This is 3 digits adding to 2 digits. Now the biggest this could add to is 3 and 5, because this sees a 6. 3 and 5 is 8. So, and the minimum 3 digits can add to is 1, 2, 3, which is 6. So this adds to 6 through 8, which means it definitely has a 1 on it. Because 2, 3, 4 adds to 9. That's too big. So it definitely has a 1. I also don't think it can have a 6, because 1, 2, 6 is also 9. So no 6 as part of this sum. I don't know how I want to mark that. I don't really want to put 1 through 5 on there. This is 3 through 6. All right, can this be 1, 2? This would be a... we need some big digits in this row. In fact, we do need a 6 down here somewhere. And we need a 4. Okay, so one conclusion I can make immediately is I'm not putting the 6 on these 2 cells, because this is a single cell sum. And so if this was 6 plus 1, the very minimum with a 6, this would have to add to 7, which doesn't exist. So this is our 6. But that does mean that whatever this 4 or 5 is ends up on here. But we can't actually put a 5 on here, because now our maximum sum is 5. And 5 plus 1 would be 6. So this cannot be the 5. This must be a 4. And now this has to be 1 plus 4 is 5. All right, let's clean this up a little bit. That makes this 5, 6. And we already knew that the 4 here would make this 1, 2, 3, 5. So we know that the 1 doesn't go in these cells because of the 1, 4 pair. And so this is our 1. And then this is going to be 2, 3, 5. And this is also 2, 3, 5. That's not a 5. Perfect. This is 3 or 5, interestingly. So if it's 3, this has to be 1, 2, which feels like the more limiting option. But I also don't see it failing. 5 has plenty of options. Well, the 2 options still available, 1, 4, and 2, 3. 5 is one of these 2 down here. Do I think about this yet? So this doesn't have 5 on it. We can still get to 8, 1, 3, 4. What am I missing here? We got the 1's actually in one of these 2 because of the column. This has to at least 6. So this sells from 1, 2, 3. It's actually from 2, 3, 4 because it can't be 1. Because it can't be 5 or 6. So the absolute maximum we're adding to is actually 7. We can't actually get to 8 anymore. And so this adds to 6 or 7. So it's either 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 4. For similar reasons, this was 1, 2, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 3, 5, right? 1, 2, 3 is the minimum at 6. If we want to add 1 to it to get to 7, we got to change the 3 to a 4. So it has the 1 and the 2 on it with a 3 or a 4 left over, which means this is 3, 4, 6. It definitely has the 6. All right, that 6 points up, 6 looks up. That's not a 6. Places the 6 here. It gives us 5 and 6 here. All right, something. The 1's over here. What is the key thing I'm missing here? So if I wanted this to add to 7, it would be 3, 4. That's the only way. So, okay, so first of all, this can't be a 1. The biggest I'd add to is 5, which, 6 is our minimum. So that's not the 1, placing the 1 here for the column. And then we know this needed a 1 on it, so that's our 1. That's 4 and 1. And that's not a 4. Now we know one of these is 2. And the other's a 3 or a 4. All right, that's not 1 or 4. So 3, okay, so, if this added to 5, this would be a 2, 3 pair, for sure. Actually, this is a 2, 3 pair, and so it does add to 5, which means this is a 2, 3 pair. Okay. Couldn't be 1, 4, because this couldn't be 1 or 4. All right, so that's not 5. This 1 looks up, placing the 1 here and then the 1 here. This is a 4, 5. The 5 looks in, so that's 4 and that's 5. So that places the 4 in this box, which means we do add to 7. And so this is 4 and 3. That's a 2. 6 and 3. That's 6 and 5. 2 and 3. 2 and 3. 3 and 5. Up here we need a 2. And then over here we need a 3 and a 4. Oops, sorry, that's 4. That's 3. Oh, and here we need a 2. And we're done. Cool puzzle, GDC. I enjoyed the logic of that one. A lot of restricted, like, hey, this is low or this is higher, especially this one. But this one also ended up that way. And noticing that we had to add to 6 or 7 seemed helpful. Cool. Well, let me know how you did. And if you enjoyed this, why don't leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.